Graph the following piecewise function. F of x equals 1/2 x plus 3 for x is less than or equal to -2, and x plus 2 quantity squared for x is greater than -2. Okay, so if you can graph each of these functions separately, you can do this as a piecewise function. It's actually just as easy to use the piecewise elements to this as it is to not. We will concentrate on one function at a time here. Now, the thing that we have to pay attention to is this domain restriction, where x is less than or equal to -2. What does that domain restriction look like? Well, it's on the x-axis. We are including the value -2 because it's less than or equal to, and then shading all the points below that value because it's less than. That's what that restriction looks like. Now, what does this line look like? If I just drew the graph of the line 1/2 x plus 3, I would have a y-intercept of 3 and a slope of 1/2, which means I would go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, and so forth to get the rest of the points on this line, or possibly down 1, back 2, down 1, back 2, to get some more points this direction. And when I'm comfortable with the number of points that I've drawn, then I could sketch out this entire line, which would look something like this right here. Now, if you can do that, that's great. All you have to do now is just use your eraser to erase the part that doesn't actually exist, because the part that exists is only the part subject to this domain. So that's only this part right through here and up to this particular point there. This part over here is not actually part of that line because it's not subject to this domain. So we'll just get rid of those points also. And that's it. That's half of the problem there. The other half is determining what this function here, x squared plus 2 quantity, or x plus 2 quantity squared, looks like on this domain. So that domain is starting at -2 but not including, and then all the values that are greater than that. Okay, so x plus 2 quantity squared, you should know how to graph that. So this is a parabola that will be opening upward, and it's shifted to the right 2 units. So its vertex would just be sitting at the y-axis. And oh, I said shifted to the right, but it's actually shifted to the left because the horizontal shifts do go in the opposite direction of their sign. All right, so I would have a vertex at -2. So that vertex would be right here. But if you'll notice, it's not part of this domain, so I don't want to actually include it. And then from there, the parabola itself would look, like this, obviously. But this part of it over here doesn't actually exist because it's not on this domain. So I'll just kind of sketch in the best looking parabola I can, and that's perfectly fine. As long as you have the points that matter, so the points where these boundaries come together. If you have those points matched up nicely, everything else is a sketch and that looks fine.